Alright, we'll wait for more people to come into the TikTok live before we start going through this afternoon's paper. Hello, user 4364. Hello, Celestial Tang. Right, very good afternoon to everybody. This is Teacher Nathan again, and today we'll be going through Catholic High School Prelim from Primary 6 from the year 2023. Now, we'll just wait for one more minute for more friends to join us before we start looking at the questions. Okay, without further ado, let's start going through this exam paper. Now, if you have any questions, please type them in the chat. In addition, if you know the answer or you would like to clarify on your answers, please just type them in the chat and we will have a discussion. Okay, without further ado, let me go through booklet A for this paper. Okay, question 1. She called the police as soon as she saw the burglar dash over the fence. Okay, first I will identify the question type. So this is a tenses question. Let's take a look at the options that are given to us. Okay, I see 𝗪𝗓𝗡𝗖𝗧 says number 1. Right, number 1 is the correct answer. But why is it so? Okay, let's take a look at it. Climb and climbs, both are present tense. Now, when do we use climb? We use climb when it is plural and climbs when it's singular. Now, for climbed, this is past tense, and for had climbed, this is past perfect tense. Alright, now what does past perfect tense means? Is to show a past action that occurred before second incident took place. Alright, so this means that there are two incidents that occurred in the past. For example, I noticed he had left the keys behind. So if we take a look at this sentence, notice is my first action and had left is my second action. But this had left the keys behind, this occurred first. So let's say this occurred at 2 p.m. and you notice this at 2:30 p.m. Okay? Now, as what 𝗪𝗓𝗡𝗖𝗧 said, right? The answer is number 1. Now, why is it so when it's only she? This is because of a rule called verbs of perception. So this means that when you have a verb, which is an action word that relates to seeing, the next word will be base form. Okay? Which paper is this? This is Catholic High School Primary 6 Prelim from 2023. Okay, that's why my answer for question 1 is number 1. Very good, 𝗪𝗓𝗡𝗧. Now, the rest of us who are in the Zoom, who are in the TikTok, if you know the answers, please also share them with me. Now, let's go on to question 2. If Lisa dash about the toy sale, she would have informed us about it. Now, this is also a tenses question. Question, why can't we use climbing? She saw the burglar. No, we cannot use climbing because climbing is Okay, let me just draw a line. This is other questions. So climbing, this is present continuous tense, which means that action is occurring at time of speaking. Okay, user 343642136. So for climbing, this can only be used when my sentence is number 1 in the present tense, and number 2 when the action occurs as we are speaking. But this question here is in past tense. Now, if there are no more questions, let's carry on with question number 2. Okay, I just read the question earlier. I just read it again. If Lisa dashed about the toy sale, she would have informed us about it. Okay, I see who she says is number 3. Well, number 3 is not the answer. Emma Martin, your answer is correct. It's number 4. Now, why is it number 4? Because for number 3, this is known as the singular present tense. Whereas for number 4, had known, this is past perfect tense. Okay, know is also present tense, but it is for plural, while knew is past tense. Now, I see user 4364 also said it's number 4. Number 4 is correct, but why is number 3 wrong? Well, this question here has a keyword would have informed. This is really past tense. So if we take a look at my timeline, Lisa informing us is already in the past tense. That means it could be at 1 p.m. today. So in order to inform us, she need to know about the toy sale first. So if we want to know about the toy sale, it needs to be earlier than 1 p.m., let's say 12 p.m. So because there are 2 events that occur in the past, and this event over here, we call it event 1, occurred before event 2, we will use something known as the past perfect tense. That's why my answer is number 4. Okay? Now, are there any questions so far? If there are, feel free to type them in the chat and we will discuss further. Okay? Now, I see Mama also said number 4 and user 4364. Yes, correct. For question 2, the answer is number 4. Now, moving on to question 3. The collection of rare coins, as well as a few antique stamps, dash currently on display at the exhibition. Now, for question 3, the type of question is known as verbs. Okay, I see Alma Martin say 2, user 4364 says 1. Now, let's take a look at the keywords. Currently. So this means it is present tense. But the difference is in here, this keyword here. The collection of rare coins. So are we looking at coins or are we looking at the collection? Yes, very good. User 4364. We are talking about one collection only. Therefore, for question 3, my answer is number 1. Because this is singular. Okay, very good. User 4364. Okay, everybody, just take note. When we are identifying keywords, you need to identify the whole key, the whole key phrase sometimes. So over here, we're not talking about coins, but we are talking about one collection of many coins. But we are still referring to the collection, okay? Very good, user 4364. Now, let's take a look at question 4. dash of the guest at the party was given a welcome pack. Now for question 4, this is known as indefinite pronoun question. Okay, now I see user 4364 and she said the answer is number 1, but number 1 is not the answer. Okay, let's take a look at the options. Was. Okay, if we take a look at the keyword here, there is was. So over here, was is singular. Okay. So which of these indefinite pronoun here is actually singular? No, user 4364, not 4, neither is it. The answer is 3. Because each means every single individual. So we are pinpointing at one person. So if we take a look at my keyword here, and this will answer to each, because each means one person. Okay, very good, Mama, is number 3. Okay, let me just explain further. Indefinite pronoun. This means that it does not name, now it replaces. So if we take a look at all these options 1 to 4, we are talking about all, both. So it's just 2 people, but we didn't say clearly that these 2 people are Tom and Jerry. Okay. Can we also say all of the guests were? Can. All of the guests were given a welcome pack. Some of the guests were given a welcome pack, also accepted. Both the guests were given a welcome pack, also can. So we need to take note of keywords and phrases. Okay, I can see that a lot of people here were very careless in this question. So my pro tip would be to highlight keywords or phrases. Okay, correct. When people are careless, that's when this kind of mistakes occur. Okay, let's go on to question 5. Dash from being an accomplished pianist, 𝗪𝗓𝗓 is a skilled painter. This is known as a conjunction kind of question. So if we, 𝗪𝗓𝗓𝗓 said 1. Yeah, 1 is actually correct. Very good, 𝗪𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓. But if we take a look at the other options, okay, number 1, okay, you see, for despite and although, these two are to use to show contrast. So you could say, despite being ill, Ali decided to run. So we can see over here that being ill and running, they are opposites. So I'll just put it as contrast, because you expect him to rest at home. Now for apart is to show 2 similar things. So if we underline our keywords, accomplished pianist is number 1, and number 2, skilled painter. Okay, very good. I can see she user 4364. Okay, very good. Now, besides being and no from. Okay, for the besides, okay, this one is also used to show 2 similar things. Okay, it's not so much being and it's not so much about like what user 4364 says. It is not because there is no from, but okay, besides, okay, correct, it's because over here of the word from. So besides being an accomplished pianist, then if you complete this sentence this way, then it will be accepted. Okay, I guess no comparison. There are no conjunctions here that are used for comparison. Okay, what are some conjunctions we use for comparison? It's like unlike. Unlike something, then this is a conjunction for comparison. Okay? To answer 𝗪𝗪𝗧's comment. Okay? Now, I'll just give everybody some time to digest the information before we continue with the next 5 questions. Alright? Okay, moving on. Let's take a look at question 6. She's been playing the guitar since she was young, dash, asked Mrs. Lee. Now, this is known as a question tag. Okay, so if we take a look at the keyword, I'm only interested in one. See, a lot of people already start typing the answers in. Very good, 𝗪𝗪𝗧. Okay, now I have 2 different answers, number 3 and number 2. Well, for over here, she's, what does this mean? She has been. So, when I have a question tag, I always want a positive and a negative component. So, she has been, this is my positive. I need a negative, which is hasn't. Therefore, my answer will be number 2. Okay, so I already see quite a number of you have the answer: Xuan, Emma, Martin, and user 4364. Alright, now why is it not option 3? Because if we were to substitute she's for she does been playing the guitar, this actually is not grammatically correct. Unless if I change the question to she does play the guitar since young, then at the back we put doesn't, then this sentence will be correct. Alright? Now we just take note for this. This can have many meanings. It can be she is, she has been, and it also can refer to her possession. Okay? So when we encounter this 𝗪𝗪𝗧 question, we need to ask ourselves, is it this or is it that? Has been or is? Okay? And how do you know which one are we going to choose? You will substitute this for this. So you will put it she is and she has been into the question. Then you see which one is correct. Okay? Now let's go on. Neither Rahim nor his siblings dash playing badminton with their father every Thursday. Now this is also a tenses question. So if we take a look at the options available, enjoy and enjoys both are present tense. But for enjoy, this is for plural. And for enjoys, this is for singular. Okay? Has enjoyed. Okay, Mama already said number 2. For question 7, I don't think the answer is number 2. Okay, let's take a look at option 3. Present, this is known as present perfect tense. Okay, which means that my action completed at time of speaking, but effect still felt. Okay, 𝗪𝗪𝗧 and Mama said number 1. Well, number 1 is the correct option. Okay, but let me finish explaining present perfect first. Okay, as mentioned, action completed at time of speaking, but the effect is still felt. Let me give you an example. He has read the news and wants to know more. Okay, very good, user 4364. The answer number 1 is correct. Now, if you take a look at present perfect tense, and we look at this sentence here, has read the news. We use this because he wants to know more. That means that the act of reading the news over here has an effect that is still felt in the present. Okay, still felt in present. That's why we use this. Now, for option 4, are enjoying. This is present continuous. Okay, this means that as we are speaking, they are still enjoying or not enjoying this thing. Okay, so if we take a look at the options here, the answer is number 1. But why is it so? Because siblings is nearer to the blank. So neither Rahim nor his siblings. We look at siblings, and this is plural. Therefore, it's number 1. Then, when will it be number 2? Some of you may ask. See, if I change the question to neither the siblings nor Rahim. Okay, so now instead of being plural, I'm looking at Rahim, one person before the blank. Then it will be enjoy. Because Rahim is singular. Okay, so this is how we differentiate between option 1 and option 2. Are there any questions so far? If there are, please kindly type them in the comment section for us to discuss. Okay, everyone? Alright, let's take a look at question 8. The determined hiker made a beeline dash the submit. This is known as a preposition question. Now, for at refers to place. It refers to a place. I was at the cafe. This shows that my location is here, cafe. Okay, she said number 1. No, number 1 is not the answer. Number 2, you are referring to the endpoint. Okay, user 4364 at Emma Martin say number 2. Number 2 is correct. Because my endpoint is submit. Okay, endpoint. And this is also my keyword. For number 3, from refers to my source. I bought my bun from the store. So I'm saying that my bun was baked by this store, my source. And along means you are moving parallel to something. So you could say the car moved along the street. Okay, this is my street sign. That means we are moving parallel to my street. Okay, so this is how we use prepositions. Okay, for question 8. Now let's go on to question 9. By the time she called me last night, I dashed my dinner. Alright, for this question, this is also tenses. For finish, this is present and plural. Okay, she said number 4. Number 4 is the correct answer. Okay, I'll just write it here first. Now for finished, this is past tense. Has finished. This is what we have discussed earlier. Present perfect. So present perfect basically means the action is completed. Action completed, but effect felt. Effect still felt. Okay, very good. ZNB, MZ, and AMG both say number 4. Number 4 is the correct answer. Okay, now last one, had finished. This is past perfect. For past perfect, this means that the action occurred before second event took place. So if we are going to take a look at the timeline, she called me at 9 p.m. on Saturday, but she finished dinner at 7 p.m. So we are looking at event 1. So event 1 occurred before event 2, and both are in the past. That's why we use had finished, which is number 4. Okay, very good for those of you who got the answer correct. Now, if you take a look at question 10, Louis is one of the many boys who dash in the mathematics Olympiad every year. This is a tenses question again. Okay. Now, this first option here is present plural. Then we have present singular. Then we have was and were participating. These are known as past continuous tense, which means action continuing at certain time in the past. Okay. Now, very good. Martin, you said number 1, then you change to number 2. The answer, okay, let me finish explaining options 3 and 4 first, okay? Past continuous tense means your action was continuing at certain time in the past. For example, the children were eating lunch at noon. So we are talking about eating the lunch, but at noon time, we don't really have a specific time. It's just around 12 p.m. So it could be at 11:30 or it could be at 12:15. So because we are talking about around some period of time, that's why we use past continuous tense. Now, Emma Martin and AMG, I think the NZNBMZ also say is number 2. Number 2 is correct, because we are only looking at Louis, not the other men, the many boys. This question is focused on Louis, who is the subject. Therefore, it is singular. And because of that, we take a look at the option participates. Okay, well done everyone. Okay, I'll just give everybody some time to take a look. Okay, wait, I don't understand. Alright. This question here is Louis. It's just one boy. Okay? Therefore, the answer is participates, because it is singular and also present tense, because over here they say every year. Okay? Hello, Elisa. Now, why did I talk about this one of the many boys? Okay? Because this one is extra info. I don't need to know that there are many boys who participate in Math Olympiad. I just need to know that Louis is one of them. That's why I say it is singular. Okay? I hope AMG can understand. Okay? Now, I see Ling. Good afternoon. Alright. I just give everybody some time to digest the information before we continue with vocab. Okay, just give everyone 1 minute. Alright, if there are no questions, let's go on to our vocab section. The manager had to dash. Good afternoon, Huang Na. Okay, good afternoon. The manager had to dash a plan to boost the sale of the company's products. So we need to identify keywords first. We are looking at a plan, and this plan is to boost the sales. Now let's take a look at the options available. Number one, invent. Invent means you create something that doesn't exist before. Okay, she already said number three, concord. No, concord is not the answer. Okay, fabricate means make a fake story, correct? Okay, so I just write here, make a fake story. Concord is referring to make a dish by mixing ingredients. If we look at our keywords, there's nothing about food here. And devise means you create a plan after thinking. Okay? No, fabricate means you create a fake story. Over here, we are looking at a plan to boost the sales. So AMG, number 4 is not the answer. Possible to make a fake plan, she. No, you cannot. A plan is not fake. If you want to create a fake plan, then the correct word would be you fabricate a story. Okay? Because the meaning of plan already tells me that it is something legitimate and it is something that we will follow through as a solution. Okay? My keyword here is solution. That means it's something that will work. Okay, a lot of people already say number 2, Huang Na. This F and a Q, this person, and Lisa, number 2. Very good. Yeah, the answer here will be number 2. Okay, good job everybody. Now let's take a look at question 12. The pupils made an agreement to dash their differences and work together to complete the project. So if you look at this keyword here, differences, so probably they didn't agree with one another. And am I correct? A lot of people said 3. Number 3, put aside. Yes, for this question here, the answer is number 3, put aside. Because put aside means that you disregard feelings. Okay, get lang, very good. And ZNBMZ, Huang Na, 3. Very good. The answer is number 3. Now let's take a look at the other options that are given to us. Put off means you delay something. So you put off submitting your homework. That means you delay submitting your homework. Put down. Okay, now put down and put away. For put away means you store something in another location. Okay, and put down. Sometimes we talk about your pet being put down because it is sick and it is in a lot of pain. So put down basically means that you let it sleep forever. Okay, I'll just put it this way. Okay, so very good everybody. Now let's continue with question 13. Even after being caught cheating during the examination, William failed to dash the seriousness of the situation. So we are looking at somebody caught cheating, and William who failed to dash the seriousness. Okay, let's take a look. She said number 3, grabs the seriousness. Correct. The answer is grabs. And why is it so? Because grabs means you understand a situation. So you basically have some level of awareness. Okay, Martin also said number 3. Very good. Now, Elisa, you said you're not really sure is it number 3 or number 4. Now, grapple means you struggle with somebody physically. Okay, But for the question here, you see I underline my keywords, which is seriousness. Seriousness is something that is not tangible. It is a situation, something that's intangible. So in this case, number 4 will not make sense, okay? Therefore, we look at number 3. Now, number 1 and number 2, I just give everybody the definition so we can learn. Distribute. Number 1, seize means number 1, you take hold of something. Okay? And number 2, admit. Admit means you confess that something is true. Okay, you can see confess that something is true. Flaw said is abstract. No, it is not abstract. We need to understand the keywords first. From the keywords, then you can identify your options. It's not something that I talk about. Okay, now you ask me. No, when I hold my pen this way, it allows me to teach better. Okay. And I'm giving you the best kind of teaching available on TikTok. Now there are some questions about how we study for vocab. Alright? For vocab, during your practice session, it's important to understand the meanings of the word. Okay? And the next thing that you need to do is to identify your keywords. When you have these 2 items in place, this will lead you to the answer. Okay, that's why I'm going through option by option for you to understand. Now, if you would like to attempt this vocab section in an exam context, we use something known as elimination. That means we cross out the options that are not available. And this will fall back on your understanding of keywords, because you understand the meaning of the words, because you know some of them are incorrect, then you will cross them out. Okay? I hope everyone is clear on this so far. Alright, let's take a look at question 14. The teacher dash important information about the upcoming excursion to our pupils. So we are looking at important information. So if we look at the options, okay, yes, okay, she said number 4. Correct, number 4 is the answer. Okay, now why is number 4 the answer? Because number 4 means you tell people important info, which basically answers the question, and my keyword also is important info. Okay, 𝐬𝐸𝐸 also said number 4. Correct. Good job. Now let's take a look at the other options. Disperse means you distribute something over wide area. Okay. So in primary school, you may learn you disperse the seeds. That means the seeds are being thrown and sown on the ground over a big area. Now, distributed means you give a share of something to everyone. So we could say that the birthday girl, she cut the birthday cake such that everybody could have a share. Then she distributed the birthday cake. Okay, that's how we use this phrase, this word. Now, dispatch. Dispatch means you send off something. So you could say that I dispatched the letter or the parcel to my friend in America. So I sent this object to somebody far away. Okay, this is how we use dispatch. Now looking at option 15. Question 15. The government officials warned the residents of the city that an earthquake was dash and could strike the area at any moment. So in this question, we're looking at strike the area at any moment. We're looking at a time factor. Now, Emma Martin already said number 3, imminent. Correct. Imminent is the answer. Because imminent means something bad is about to happen. Okay, Xi also said number 3. Very good. Now, for option 1, eminent, that means you are better than people, than somebody in rank or worth. That means you have better skills than somebody. For example, we say an eminent doctor, because this doctor has skills that are better than the average doctor. Okay? Pertinent means important. So I can say pertinent information. That means you need to listen to what I'm going to say carefully. Now, prominent means noticeable. So I can say that I place my pen in a very prominent location. So if everybody walk past me, they can see the pen. That means prominent. Prominent also can mean famous. So we can say a prominent doctor. That means everybody has heard of, everyone has heard of this doctor, maybe his name. Then I can say he's prominent. Okay, I'll just give everybody a minute or so to digest the information here before I go on to the next section. Alright, if there are no further questions, let me go on to the next section of this paper. Okay. It started as a small influencer in China. We thought we were safe. We thought it was nothing serious. A small virus could not cause much trouble, could it? We made guesses about its origin, laughing about it as we went until it hit us. So over here, okay, she said number 1, we made guesses. Now for question 16, the answer is not number 1. Number 1 means, mount means you think about something. Hi Harina, think about something deeply. Okay, that's where you mount. So you mount over the purchase of something expensive. Okay, 𝗪𝗓𝗡𝗡𝗖𝗧 said number 4. Number 4 is the correct answer, because number 4 means you create a theory without evidence. Okay, now you see our keywords in this passage, we thought it was nothing serious. Small virus could not cause trouble, could it? So over here, we already have 2 different key phrases to show that there are no evidence. We thought it was nothing serious, no evidence. So because of this, it means that we are looking at guessing. And guessing means that you do not have any evidence or no clue to prove your point. Therefore, the answer is number 4. Okay? Why not number 2 or number 3? Number 2 means you think carefully before making decision. Whereas number 3 means you ask somebody something. Okay? Now moving on. It came harder than anything we had faced. The virus claimed lives by the thousands. Our economy was smashed like a wrecking ball, leaving nothing but mass destruction in the wake of the coronavirus. So we are looking at like a wrecking ball. So if we take a look at some keywords, it came harder than anything we had faced. And the economy was smashed, which means that the effect is very serious. Now, she said number 1. For number 1, that is the correct answer. But why is it so? Because number 1 means no pity or very cruel. So we are referring to the coronavirus as like a person. Very good gag length. Yes, it means that you do not care about the other person, which is what the virus did. Now if you take a look at the other options, number 2 means insufficient attention. To avoid harm. Careless. That's what happens when you do not underline the keywords which are necessary for the question. You select the wrong option. It's not because you don't know, but because you didn't see certain keywords. Now, cautiously means you deliberately avoid danger. Okay? So let's say the road is very slippery, then you walk cautiously. Means you do not want to slip and fall. Now, effortlessly means don't need effort. So let's say we're talking about a pianist playing a song. That means the pianist who have trained very hard will find it effortless. Okay? That's where we use option 4. Nothing but a mass destruction in the wake of the coronavirus. Now, in the wake of the coronavirus, that means we are looking at after the COVID virus. Okay? Now, if we take a look at the options available, in the midst of means that you are halfway through something. Okay, I can see 𝗪𝗓𝗡𝗡𝗖𝗧 and 𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓, they said number 4. Number 4 is correct. In the aftermath of something. We are looking at the consequence of an unpleasant event. My keyword here is unpleasant. That means something that doesn't make me happy. Now, if you look at in number 2 and number 3, they are actually quite similar. But for number 3, in the effect, that means we are looking at the result of an action. Whereas for number 2, we are looking at something that hasn't even occurred. Okay, but over here they say in the wake of and the virus, which means that the event has already occurred. So in my brain, I will already tell myself number 1 and number 2 are not relevant. Number 3, in the effects of something. We're looking at someone's action here. But in this text, there was no action. There was only a cause. And it's something that is bad. Therefore, because I already can imply that the coronavirus is something bad, and in the aftermath, it's also referring to somebody and a consequence that's bad. These two will link to one another. Therefore, my answer is number 4. Okay? Alright, let's take a look at the other questions. In Singapore, the number of cases rose to 60,000. It was 14 January 2020. That week, I went to work as usual despite not being in the pink of health. So we are looking at numbers here, rose. So if you take a look at the options, for climb means the numbers increase. Elevate means you raise somebody to a higher position. Okay, number 3 and number 4 both also mean increase. But expand means you increase in size. While ascend means you increase in height. So if you're just looking at a general increase in something which is just numbers, the answer is number 1. Okay, very good. 𝗓𝗓𝗓 and 𝗪𝗓𝗡𝗡𝗖𝗧. Okay, very good. Now let's go on to the last question. However, to my dismay, my condition seemed to worsen with each passing hour. So we talk about the writer being more and more sick. This will help me with my keyword. Okay, dismay. So let's take a look at the options. Horror. Horror means you are in shock. Annoyed. Frustration means you are annoyed because you cannot do something. No 𝗖𝗎. The answer is not number 1. Annoyance means you are irritated. So let's say you demonstrated annoyance because your brother keep disturbing you when you're doing homework. Disappointment means that you are sad. Okay? So if you take a look back at my keyword here, your condition seem to worsen, but you had to go to work as usual. So these two keywords already tell you that you are not well, but you are still made to go to work. And this will make you sad. Therefore, the answer would be number 4, disappointment. Okay? Dismay has something got to do with being having your hopes high, then suddenly having your hopes being very low, from suddenly being hopeful and optimistic to being sad. That's why we use disappointment, not horror. Okay? Okay, I'll just give everybody some time to digest the information that I just taught everybody. Then we'll continue with our booklet B. Okay? Okay, once again, a very good afternoon, everybody. This is Teacher Nathan here, and I'm currently going through Catholic High School P6 Prelim paper from 2023. Now, joining us today, we also have our class pet over here, which is Mochi. Hello, everybody. Hello. Come, before we go through section booklet B, please drop Mochi a hi. You can just type it in the comment section below, and Mochi will reply you later, okay? Okay, now I'll just move on to booklet B first. Okay, okay, moving on to booklet B. Let's take a look at our grammar clause. Travelers acquainted with Singapore will probably already know of our city's national icon, the mythical Merlion. There are 7 authorized Merlion statues dash the island. The answer is A, across the island. Why? Because this is a preposition, and we are talking about the Merlion being can be found from one side to the other of Singapore. Okay? The keyword that I will use is island, and there are 7 in the island. Okay? So we are looking at the whole of Singapore, the whole thing from left to right, and you can find 7 Merlions. Okay? So this is the meaning of a cross. Okay? Hello, Honda. Hello. Okay? Now, Martin, you are very fast. The most well-known dash, the one found at Merlion Park, a popular Singapore landmark. This one is the most well-known being, because we are referring to one special Merlion. Okay? Very good. Before you visit this tourist spot, you may want to learn more about the symbolism. 31 is behind. Okay? Because for this one, we are looking at preposition. And we are looking at something that is not literal, but rather the history of something. So if we want to talk about history of an object or a place, we always say behind this place. Okay? And how it intertwines, well, here is Q with our nation's history, because Merlion and nation history, these two are similar objects, and we are looking at a preposition here to show that they are linked to one another. Okay, very good. 𝗪𝗡𝗡𝗪𝗓. The answer is Q. Okay, he spotted a strange creature which he identified as a lion. He saw this dash a good omen. Saw this as a good omen, because we are looking at this observation, which is strange creature as he landed on our shore, and we are saying that seeing this strange creature is a good omen. So we are talking about how this is the cause and this is effect. Okay, that's how we have this. Now number 34, I see, hey, someone say it's P, someone say it's which. Yes, correct. Decided to name the island Singapore, which means, because this is a relative pronoun. Okay, we use which because we are talking about island, which is an object. Today, the Merlion continues to be a beloved symbol of Singapore. You can glimpse echoes of these legends embodied. The answer is K, in. Because we are looking at the echoes in basically your statue, your Merlion statue, and the legends, the legends that are related to this here. Okay, therefore the answer is in. Sprouting water dash its mouth. Sprouting water from its mouth, because we are looking at the source of the water, which is the mouth. Okay, the Merlion statue stands at 8.6 meters and weighs 70 tons, because we are looking at height. So we are talking about the height of something, okay, which means a particular place, or in this case the particular tallest point of the Merlion. Okay, okay, this is Catholic High paper, correct. Dash completion of Esplanade Bridge in 1997, the statue could no longer be viewed clearly from the waterfront and was relocated to Merlion Park. Okay, very good. 𝗪𝗡𝗡𝗪𝗓. Okay, the answer is a pond, because we are looking at a preposition of time, because over here my keyword is 1997. Okay, very good. The 𝗪𝗡𝗪𝗓. Yeah, correct. Number, what is that, a Q? No, there is with completion. No, unless you say with the completion. Okay, your answer over here don't have a the. Therefore, your answer is incorrect. Okay, 𝗪𝗡𝗪𝗓. Okay. Now just J03. If on was an option, would it be okay as well? On completion of Esplanade Bridge, on the completion, there needs to be on also. Okay. On, cannot. On the completion of something, but there isn't a the present here. Okay, that's why we cannot use this. Alright, if there are no questions, we'll continue with editing. Okay. Being adventurous, Tom decided to explore the dense woods. After hiking for an hour, he stumbled upon a Very good. Hidden. Excited by the prospect of discovering something new. Okay, now this one, let me just draw your attention to question 39. Hiding, this is a verb. But what we want is an adjective. Okay, we want to convert. That means this is known as a word form change. So I'm looking at converting a verb to an adjective. So from hiding to hidden. Okay, this is just one of the many types of question that editing can offer you. Now, he maneuvered. For this one over here, we are looking at a spelling error. Okay, so let me just spell it correctly for you. Okay, maneuvered. Okay. Little did he know of the danger that was awaiting him as he, this is the spelling error, ventured. Okay, ventured deeper into the cave. He soon found himself stuck in the narrow passageway. Tom tried to wriggle his way free, but the rocks around him were too tightly packed. Okay, not tight. With heartbeat racing and panic rising within him, he started screaming for help, filled with despair. Tom was about to give up hope. Then he remembered. Okay, remembered something his grandfather had told him. There was always a way out if one stayed vigilant. With a renewed sense of determination, Tom began to scour the walls of the cave, searching for any crack or opening. Alright, someone asked this. Okay, very good. My mistake. This is a E. So 𝐷𝐬𝑒𝑠𝑝𝑎𝑖𝑟. Okay. mix melody. Very good. Despair. Okay. This is my mistake. Okay, thank you. Now, looking for 2 hours, he finally found a hole big enough for him to squeeze through. So over here, our keyword, looking for 2 hours after. And this is because we are talking about this time period has occurred already. Okay? Now moving on, he found a hole big enough for him to squeeze through. Tom pushed through the hole and finally emerged. Okay? To the light. Now for this editing, there are a few kinds of questions we are looking for. The first kind is the word form change. So, for example, tight to tightly. This question 43. Okay, over here, hiding, hidden. The other kind of question is spelling. So we are looking at maneuvered, ventured, this kind of spelling errors. Okay, on this note, I just want everybody to take note. Fulfillment. Sometimes the present tense is only one L, but the past tense can be the double letter, like fulfilled. Then fulfillment is just one L again. Okay, just take note of this kind of spelling, this commonly misspelled words. Next, we also can look at tenses and grammar. Okay, let me just consider this as grammar errors. So your tenses may be wrong, your prepositions may be wrong. Okay, so these are broadly the 3 kind of questions you'll encounter when you do your editing. Okay, now just give everybody some time to digest the information before I move on to synthesis and transformation. Okay. Alright, if there are no further questions, let's take a look at synthesis and transformation. Did you go for the choir rehearsal yesterday? Andy asked me. This is known as the reported speech kind of question. Okay, so when I want to do this kind of question, firstly I'll highlight my words that will change. So for this question, yesterday did you go? Okay, then next is I will write the correct word above. Okay, so did you go? I had gone previous day. Okay, so once I already identified how to change, then I'll write. Andy asked me if I had gone for the choir rehearsal the previous day. Okay, so when you underline these words here and you write it down, it actually slows your thought process. So this will prevent any kind of careless mistake, which is something that we don't want, because all these synthesis and transformation questions are one of the most one of the easiest places for you to earn your marks. Okay, now this one we are changing from direct to indirect speech. So the same two steps will apply. So over here we are looking at launching will be changed to being launched. Okay, a new product is being launched by the company this year. Okay, so we are changing this is known as the subject and this is known as the object. So you're changing the new product now to become the subject and the company to become the object. So if you want to change it this way, we always have the word by inside your answer. Okay, this is one of your keywords in your answer. Now let's take a look at question 68. Lisa was shocked by how deep the pool was. So again, I will do the same two things. I'll identify the word that I want to change, which is that deep. I will change it to the correct word, depth. So the answer will be the depth of the pool shocked Lisa. Okay. Yeah, very good, Emma Martin. That's the correct answer. Okay. Come, let's continue. All of us want to go to Bishan Park for a picnic. Oh, sorry. All of us do not want to go to Bishan Park for a picnic. Okay, so you take a look. All do not. None. So these two have the same meaning. All of us don't want to go, which means none of us wants. Emma Martin, please take note. None means nobody. So when there's nobody, we always use singular. Wants to go to Bishan Park for a picnic. Okay? The reason why over here it is plural because all do not want to go, but none wants to go. Okay? Please take note of all these common careless mistakes. Okay? Now let's go on. the chefs prepared for the cooking competition, they were enthusiastic about it. So this one, we are looking at a word from change, enthusiastic. We are going to change to enthusiasm. So it was with enthusiasm that the chefs prepared for the cooking competition. Okay, so this would be for my last question, which is question 70. Okay, now we are almost coming towards the end of this afternoon's live stream. Just like to thank everybody for coming down to watch it on TikTok. Just like to remind everybody that there's also a second live stream that is coming, and that would be at 4:45 p.m. 4:30 p.m. later. So please do join me then. Can you make your print sharper? Okay, the next TikTok live will have better quality. Okay, for Gatling. Okay, so for now, if you have any questions, kindly type them in the chat. If not, we will see each other in a bit. Okay. Yep, see you guys later. Later I'll be going through another paper.